welcome back to another Zelda Breath of the Wild theory. Today we are looking at the Tapestry, which has been has had a lot of discussion around it since Reggie Fils-Aimé showed it off in the Treehouse Live Breath of the Wild segment, and as you can see here, it's on the screen now. We have the Tapestry, which is on the back of the map, which you get in the Master Edition in the US and Japan, I believe. And you can see Ganon, Link and Zelda in the middle with Guardians around, and then four big Sheikah beasts on the outside, and then the text, the Sheikah text on the outside, which has been translated already by Zelda, which kind of shows the backstory to Breath of the Wild. And then there's other interesting features such as the Sheikah Resurrection Towers and Hyrule Castle, also all there around it, and there's loads of images. But today I really wanted to focus on the four main beasts around the Tapestry in the corners. So let's get right into my theories. So my first theory is that each of these is actually a dungeon. So you go into the machine as a dungeon, because in the past the developers have said that there's going to be 4 major dungeons and 100 or so shrines, which, I mean, I think most people know that now. It's been common news for a while. So first theory is that you are going to go into these machines and deactivate them, which will also deactivate the stone pillars around Hyrule Castle, which would be pretty interesting. So I think there's a couple of scenes in the latest trailer which shows Link in a like a circular room with dark energy of Calamity Ganon, which could be in the inside of one of them. And I mean, if you don't know, the animals are pretty self-explanatory. We have a salamander, which is in the north east, which is Death Mountain. An elephant, which is in the southeast, which is like near Zora's Domain. Southwest is the camel, which is Gerudo Desert, and the northwest, which is the eagle, which is in the mountains and Snow Peak and all that. So yeah, I probably should have said that first, but oh well. So I think you're going to have to go to the 4 corners of the world and deactivate these main guardians to get access to Hyrule Castle. I don't know whether you're actually going to have to do that, because I know you can get into Hyrule Castle or you can go to Hyrule Castle as soon as you start the game. Whether you can actually defeat Ganon, which they have said that you can, so I don't know where that's going to play, but I think that you probably will have to deactivate these guardians to maybe have a better chance of defeating Ganon. Maybe it'll deactivate all the other guardians or turn them onto your side. We don't know at this point. But now I have another theory. So my second theory is that we're going to have a proper dungeon, like a proper original Zelda dungeon for each of these. So we're going to have a fire dungeon for the salamander, a water dungeon for the elephant, like a desert or a spirit temple for the camel, and a snow or a sky temple for the eagle. So if we go around in that order, so the fire temple for the salamander, I think we've seen it go around Death Mountain. So we might be going into Death Mountain, and then there might be something in Death Mountain that gets to deactivate these major guardians, or in this case a salamander, which we did see in the trailer. It looks very interesting. I think that's the right word to use. But it's obviously going to be revolving around fire puzzles, and I think you can go to them in any order probably. So yeah, but this one's going to be situated at Death Mountain. So now if we move on to the elephant, which is, I think it's going to be in Zora's Domain or Lake Hylia, of that area kind of. So we're going to have to go and meet the Zoras and go through some places and go to a water temple that isn't a bad one and annoying like it always is. Hopefully it'll be, like some kind of interesting puzzle, not about water levels or anything. It's all we can really hope for at this point. But yeah, then there's obviously going to be something that deactivates the Elephant Guardian. So then obviously the same for the other two. The camel is going to be a desert temple and the Gerudo Desert. We've seen the Gerudo town or the city in the latest trailer as well, and we saw the camel as well, so show a couple of clips of that just then. And yeah, it's very similar to the other ones, but then the eagle is a bit of a different one because it is in the sky, so that might be something that debunks this theory. Like, well, I mean, there's obviously, we've seen wireless communication kind of between the Sheikah Towers already. So you could go into something on top of a mountain, so whether that's an ice temple or sky air temple kind of thing, is yet to be seen. But you go into there, you solve puzzles, and you deactivate the Eagle Major Guardian, which obviously might come crashing down into Hyrule, which isn't good. But yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. So obviously the evidence for both of these theories is that the developers have said that that there are 4 major dungeons, and whether they're going to be inside or outside the Guardians, we don't know. But I think some of the scenes we've seen so far have been, big indicators that we might go inside the Guardians and defeat them. And the trailer of Life in the Ruins showed the bird person flying up to the Eagle, which we might have to do. I know there's an air current there. Might end up going up there at some point when it has turned to the red dark energy of Calamity Ganon, which could be interesting. But I think my first theory is more likely. Me personally, I'd prefer it to be the second theory, which is go into a dungeon and then deactivate the Guardian. But overall, I do think that you're probably going to have to deactivate the Guardians. You can see the commanders on each of the main Guardians as well, which is interesting. Whether Sheikah or not is yet to be seen. But this Tapestry is very interesting. If you haven't seen Zelda's video translating or the Sheikah text, then go watch it because it is really cool. I have watched it, so it's really interesting actually. I know the backstory now, and unfortunately it's the only thing. Well, fortunately, it's the only thing that's been shown about the story so far. We don't have much idea. All we can do is theorise now. I mean, it's just over a month until we get the game. I'm sure people will be getting to the end very quickly. But yeah. And so that concludes my theory on the 4 major Guardians in Breath of the Wild. I don't know how long this was, I've not edited it or anything yet. But I hope to be getting a theory up every week. I had the Begone Sword one last week, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. You see the end screen, end card, you'll see the playlist, and you can go check it out from there. But obviously, if you want more Zelda theories, hit that subscribe button. If we hit 100 subscribers before Breath of the Wild, I'll start doing 2 a week. So if you want to see more, go click that subscribe button, and we'll cover more, maybe about Ganon and Calamity Ganon, and more about this Tapestry, because it is one of the most interesting things we've seen so far. But otherwise, that's a bit from me, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.